The X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv at hotmail.com. Our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. I played Aretha Franklin to start the show off, the song Think. And you know what? After watching the last presidential debate and listening to President Obama and Governor Romney, I really think that voters need to think. Now, I've got to tell you something, and I'll tell you right up front. We here at Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X Zone Radio Show, and the X Chronicles fully endorse President Obama. I think that he is the best choice after watching Governor Romney stumble his way through the final debate. If Americans don't think about what they're going to do, and if they didn't think about the way Governor Romney was sweating and stammering his way through. And I really do believe that, like President Obama says, that Romney has Romnesia, because it seems that this guy flips from one side of the coin to the other without remembering what he said before. So anyway, that's my take on the final debate. And this hour, I've got a good friend of mine. She is a fellow Ontarian who is on the X Zone. She is a good member of the X Zone Nation and like I said, a good friend. Her name is Tara Taro, and her real name is Tara Greene, and Tara is in Toronto. Tara is a certified counselor in holistic transformational psychotherapy, LifeSpace Institute. She's associate of the College of Arts and Design with honors in experimental arts. She does, professional tarot card readings. She is a workshop leader in women's spirituality, dreams, tarot, and astrology. Ceremonies arts, transformational work, goddess mysteries, moon circles at Grail Spring Spa, and a whole lot more. I can guarantee you that this next hour with my friend Tara Greene, who is a tarot card reader, astrologer, and psychic from Toronto, Ontario, is going to be one interesting hour. So tell me, Tara, first of all, welcome back to the X Zone. What did you think about the debate, or do you not think about it at all?
Well, no, I was watching the rerun actually last night because I was at an event. But yeah, he looked. I'm also predicting that Obama will win. I've been predicting that since I made my 2012 predictions. It is going to be a very tight election, and I just thought Romney looks so. He can present himself very well. And actually, I did do a thorough analysis of both of their charts, which I posted on my blog and on my website. He is an intelligent guy, but he's got a Gemini ascendant, so he does do that dual nature thing. So he does say one thing, then he flip-flops, and he does something else. He's also got a lot of Pisces in his chart, so he'll blend into whatever it is people want to hear. But that doesn't make him seem very stable.
No, he reminds me of a mannequin, one of these handheld puppets that you put on somebody's lap.
Yeah.
Because and the way he looks around and smiles, it's really uncanny. Like, I feel very uncomfortable watching him on TV.
Yeah, he had that kind of frozen thing on his face, and I felt that was really phony. Like, his eyes kind of roll around and stuff. And, and he sounded very to me, it was like, we're going to get those, those Taliban, we'll get those jihadists, and we're just going to kill them dead. Like, it sounded like some little boy, you know what I mean, talking about he's playing with his war toys. That's what I thought,
It scares the hell out of me knowing that this guy could be beside the nuclear button. And I really hope that the Americans do re-elect President Obama, because I think, as being their neighbors to the north, that he is the leader that I would like to see my country's neighbor, have in charge rather than Mitt Romney. It's going to be an interesting call. You and I have to take our first commercial break, Tara. Okay. Please stand by. Great talking to you again, X-Zone Nation. Tara Greene is Tara Greene is our special guest. www.tarataro.com. That's TARATAROT.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue with yours truly, Rob McConnell, here in the X-Zone. Don't you dare go away. Except you, Governor Romney. Get out of here. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
And I'm looking through you. That should have been the theme song when, Clint Eastwood was talking to the chair way back then. What was it? The Republican National Convention. That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of strange things happening this year, Tara. And, you and I discussed the last time you were here on the show, and, we've got to get you on more often because I really miss you. The December 21st, 2012. Now, I personally do not believe in my heart of hearts, and after going down to Mexico, speaking to the Mayans, going to the Mayan ruins, and speaking to not only the members of the Mayan royal family, professors, members of the different governments, that nothing is going to happen. It's not going to be the end of the world.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's been so used and misused and kind of, commercialized, and Like I mentioned, my first cousin is an archaeoastronomer. She lives in Palenque. She's been studying this for 30 years from the woman who deciphered the Mayan calendar. And she says, the Mayans there, the elders go, what's all this about December 21st, 2012? So,
Right.
they're a bit mystified. No, nothing is going to happen. But on another level, there's a lot of New Agers who believe that it is a shift in consciousness. So, in a way, like and Jose Arguelles, who started the harmonic convergence in
Yeah.
August of 87, he believed that it was a shift in consciousness. So there are a lot of people getting together and going to Peru and going to Guatemala and of course to Mexico and different major high energy spiritual sites in the world to meditate on that time on the winter solstice, and that's a good thing. That in itself is good. There's no harm in that. It's always good for people to come together. But I think there's going to be a big disappointment when things don't instantly shift, right?
Yeah, because it seems that people are expecting too much too fast, and this is a mirror image of what's happening in day-to-day life. Everybody is expecting things to happen right away. Look, we live in an electronic age where social media is taking over our very essences. You drive through Tim Hortons, you want your coffee. You drive through McDonald's, you want your breakfast. You drive through Subway, you get your supper. It seems that we expect way too much, and I think we need to slow down and smell the roses.
I totally agree, and that's happening. There is also I see a lot of clients, and so different age groups, like people are in their mid-30s right now, or in their mid-40s, are kind of all, do I really want to buy into this rat race? People have a sense that they have no time for their families.
That's true.
There's no reality there. Yes, I make friends on Facebook with people I've never really met, but I feel like I know them. So, there is this kind of illusion of reality, and as Neptune is in Pisces, I think, I've been predicting that people will be more telepathically, more emotionally connected. So, you will feel other people's pain more acutely. And I think that is something also that's going to shift the way people live their lives. Then Saturn is in Scorpio now.
So,
and that's going on for the next 3 years.
So where do you see the biggest changes coming from, Tara?
Well, the biggest change is, of course, these two outer planets, Uranus and Pluto, which created that Arab Spring. The minute Uranus hit 0 degrees of Aries in 2011, boom, that, was, astrologers kind of knew something was up. Uranus is also where it was in the, October 1929 stock market crash. And then Pluto has been, from the minute it hit Capricorn in 2008, it was like, boom, that whole banking, the whole mortgage thing fell apart. So those two planets are continuing to meet and square each other right through until 2015.
Wow.
So we're still in the beginning of that, yeah.
Okay. So take us into the year 2013. What can you tell us about what kind of year 2013 is going to be, since we're not that really far away, are we?
Yeah, no, I know. Every time I tune into it, I'm seeing a lot of misery.
Oh, jeez.
It seems like, this whole thing with Syria now and Turkey even, and everybody get involved. Lebanon, that is going to be a major hot spot. Everybody has to be very careful. Israel, there's going to be a lot of negotiations. I think, America, it's not Obama's fault. He kind of stepped into this thing that was, set
God,
up,
did he ever? Yeah.
So and you can't instantly turn it around. You know what I mean? Like nobody can. Like things take time. So I'm not seeing things going very good. I mean, I think the whole economy is really going to slow down, and people have to get used to that, and that you cannot rely on things. Just what you were saying, I want my thing right now.
Yeah.
You have to be very flexible. That's what Uranus does. You can't expect anything to be written in stone. So I think everybody should try to downsize where they are and not expect to live at this grandiose level, because everybody's going to have to pull back. We are in the midst of a huge world consciousness change where the old structures are falling apart, and it's only the old kind of order that's trying to hold on, but it's clear that everything is changing. The way everybody thinks is changing, the way we're interconnected. I think China is going to have a lot of trouble with its economy slowing down.
Yeah.
Internally, I think that, as people there get more aware, I think the Arab world is still going to be in chaos. I think that, Syria is a major thing. It has to come to a stop, there. Americans don't want to get involved directly, but I think they are working with allies. it just looks kind of gloomy. I'm not getting a totally clear picture, especially Saturn and Scorpio. Saturn is the planet of limitations and seriousness, and in Scorpio it's death and change. So, Saturn and Scorpio is pretty heavy, and it's the reality principle. So here's the reality check for the world, you see? Now,
Right.
there is going to be a beautiful grand trine between the big planets in July, which will be good for people who are in early Cancer or early Scorpio or early Pisces. Now, that's a nice positive thing, a big grand trine of those outer planets. So in July, things should pick up. But I'm seeing things being just sort of dark and murky and, a lot of people being delusional, especially around this 2012. People feeling desperate, like things have to change magically, and a lot of false prophets.
Mm-hmm.
That's Neptune and Pisces, so it's going to be easier now to discern what's real and what isn't. I think there's a lot of scams still going on with the bank, and that's going to get tighter. So people are going to have to kind of limit their expectations, I think, to rebuild, especially the American economy. How do you get back those millions of jobs that they lost to China?
Exactly.
And if it's at real world prices, people cannot afford to buy those things that they've been buying so cheaply.
Well, you really can't continue to outsource and expect the local economy to go up. Like, is it Bell Canada or Bell India these days?
Well,
You
of
call
course,
up Bell
yeah.
Canada with a problem, you end up at their telecenter in India.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a
But we
break.
are a big global economy, and as long as those corporations are driven by huge profits, and they're they owe it to the stock market or whatever, their investors. That's what keeps happening. If they say no, the banks can't make 80% profit or whatever, and they come down to something more realistic, then those jobs can come back.
In the past, you and I have discussed the effect of eclipses in the lives of people. Now, do we have eclipses that are going to be affecting us next year?
Well, the eclipses come every year. There's going to be a big one, actually, on November the 13th this year, which I was told that the Mayans did take note of, and it's in Scorpio. Every eclipse has an effect on the world, on the cities of the world where it hits, the places where it travels over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, it's different for each country, for each person, depending on how that eclipse affects you.
Tara Greene is our special guest, Exo Nation. Her website is www.taratarot.com. And when you're doing readings for people, do you see, is there a shift in the type of questions you're being asked? Are they deeper? Are they more philosophical? Are they more spiritual?
Yeah, I think that's been going on for quite some time. I mean, there's still the usual people are worried about their career, about their family, about their health, all that basic stuff. But yeah, people want to find more meaning in their life, I would say for sure. And people are really questioning, does this make sense? Especially I meet a lot of women who are mothers for the first time, and suddenly it's like, well, I don't know if my job really means the same anymore, So there's a big shift in terms of women, and I believe that women are going to be the big decisive factor in this election, by the way. So, women's power is really coming forward, and also life having to be more helping people with their families, not making people go crazy running around all the time to keep up. So there's going to be a definite shift. People would rather work less hours, make more money, but have more time for their family. They don't want to be feeling like why are we running around like these crazed maniacs for? What's the point?
Are you also noticing a shift in the male to female ratio that you're used to dealing with? Are more men coming to see you or more women?
I've always had more women, but I do certainly have men, and I have men. They usually come, they ask about personal things, but they're also asking about business. I do consult for corporations and stuff like that too. Mm-hmm.
So how about the other aspects of the paranormal that you're involved with? Dreams are people reporting more and more deep dreams, spiritual dreams, or are dreams staying the same?
No, I think the people I'm speaking to, when I ask them, they're saying yes, they're having these really amazing dreams that things come true, and they're kind of surprised, and the dreams are very intense, or they're clearly their shadows. The things that they are most fearing are coming up in their dreams, which I think is a healthy thing, actually. So yes, I would say that people are becoming more aware. This whole thing about Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, being in its own sign, it's still at 0 degrees. This is just going to start for the next 14, 15 years. Is going to make people much more telepathic, much more sensitive, much more aware of the spiritual world. That, we're not just stuck in this mundane, all for-profit world. That's it's like the Dark Ages. You know what I mean?
All right, Tara, stand by.
Perspective. Mm-hmm.
Stand by, dear friend. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Exonation, my guest this hour is Tara Greene, and she is in Toronto, Ontario. Now, if you'd like to contact Tara for a one-on-one consultation, go to her website at www.tarataro.com. That's www.tarataro.com. That's tarataro.com. And Tara and I will be back on the other side of this news break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send us an email, always glad to hear from the members of the X Zone Nation. X-Zone at xzoneradiotv.com. And don't forget, the X-Zone podcasts are available at our archives with our compliments for the past 90 days at www.xzonepodcast.com. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net. Welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. Tara Greene is our special guest. www.tarataro.com. That's TARATAROT.com. Now, Tara, before you and I were talking about eclipses, and there was something you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that the one that happens November the 13th this year is a total eclipse. And the place where the eclipse is the most visible is the place that's affected the most. So it does fall on Australia, New Zealand, South Pacific, and southern South America. So those countries in the world, and also a little bit of the Antarctica, will be highlighted. Now, I remember years ago Edgar Cayce predicted that all of these ancient ruins of civilizations would be discovered in Antarctica. And there are new things that are being discovered everywhere in the world. So I feel like there's also a sense that, in Turkey, they just discovered these very ancient ruins, and they're discovering all these pyramids in Italy and in South America. So there's a lot of sense of that our ancient history is much older than we thought. So I think there's going to be a big shift in terms of the way people think about consciousness, civilization, all of that thing. And then there won't be another total eclipse until 2015. So, I mean, there will be eclipses, but the total ones are the ones that are considered the most powerful.
Tara, how do you see these new discoveries affecting the world as we know it? For example, we know for a fact Christopher Columbus didn't discover the Americas, and yet academia refuses to change the way that they teach. So how are these new discoveries that, in my opinion, are very significant and will open up the door to the truth? And is academia going to change the way that they look at things, or is this just going to be another cover-up by academia?
No, Well, they seem to be the slowest, like for example, in space. Every time, now they've discovered 2 more moons on Pluto, or they've discovered, the Andromeda galaxy has a planet now. They will have to move, especially with Jupiter and Gemini. Jupiter rules higher education, and in Gemini it's a bit more open. So hopefully it will change, because people can get all the information they want, on Wikipedia, on the internet. So, their power or their ability to hold weight will be lessened, And I think there will be, I remember people in the 60s, that whole thing about Mu and Lemuria.
Oh, God,
There are people that believe that the Mayans were actually Atlanteans, and that Mayan calendar was brought from Atlantis years ago, or that in Peru, that it's a very spiritual country. Also, that the spiritual energy has moved to South America. I wanted to mention this. This man named Drunvalo Melchizedek, he lives in Sedona. I was just there in September, and I started to, really get into his work a lot more. And he talks about that there's a kind of snake energy, a kind of kundalini energy that the earth has, and wherever the head of that snake is in the earth, and it moves every 13,000 years. So it has to do with that precession of the equinoxes. So every 13,000 years, where the head of this, let's call it a snake, it's not a real snake, it's an energy pattern, moves. Now, it's been in Tibet and India for the last 12,500 years, and it's moved to somewhere between Peru and Chile. So the new spiritual center is there, and everybody I know has been going to Peru for the last 5 years. Now all the spiritual energy and all the new enlightened beings are going to come from there. So if anything, I would say South America, that area is going to be the biggest growth area in the world for a number of reasons,
Tara, one of the most frequently asked questions that I get when I'm out speaking or doing a media event is, how can I tell if a tarot reader or a psychic is being honest with me?
Well, I think you have to be able to feel for yourself. I think people go to readers, often they're desperate, or, they need advice. I don't ever take responsibility for changing anything in anybody's life. You know what I mean? I don't do spells. I don't take things away. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying that people can't send you negative energy. They certainly can, and that can be a nuisance. But I would not believe anybody who tells you, oh, you have this curse and it's dark and I'll remove it and all that stuff. That to me is just total snake oil salesman stuff, right? So if anybody tries to tell you you have good luck, I mean, you can have more beneficial through astrology for sure, but it really is about you being conscious of taking responsibility for your own life, for the patterns in your life, for the karma. And so what you want to do is become more self-aware. So to me, a good tarot reader is just going to kind of tap into that to help you see the patterns, help you be more conscious so that you can make better choices. Now, we can predict trends. We can say timing of events. That's what astrology is the best for. But don't fall for anybody who's saying, I'll take this away. You've got bad luck, blah, blah, blah. Pay me all this money or whatever. And there's a lot of that out there. And, that really dismays me that, because I've heard from people, I get mistaken for this fake site called Terra Medium, and I complained about them publicly. They've been ripped off for hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars.
My goodness.
And I feel really sad for them, that they've been so vulnerable and they believe that. There is no quick fix. This is along with this, yes,
quick
your consciousness
society,
can shift. Huh?
That quick fix society that we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. It's the same thing. And you can't give your power away to somebody else. They may know more than you. They can help guide you, but, you can't say, okay, you do it for me.
How did you get started doing the work that you're doing? I know that you help people doing the job you do and doing the great work you do. So how did you get started? What was your inspiration for becoming Tara Tarot and helping people? Okay.
Well, I was born psychic. So I just remember being very aware and very conscious since I was a child. So it was very frustrating for me. And then when I was a teenager, I started being interested in symbolism and archetypes. And I started out as an art student, actually. And, started reading, started educating myself, and then started working with a woman who was a psychologist who used tarot. And when I found out about her in Toronto, I started studying with her. And that to me was a way to legitimize tarot. So it wasn't the gypsy fortune teller kind of archetype thing
Right.
that I've always worked against. So I always felt, I really wanted to be there to help people, because I felt I was more aware, and I realized other people did not see through things. They did not see the patterns, did not see that the universe is always kind of helping you, that it's always giving you the clues, but you have to be aware enough to pick them up. And also we all have our own blind spots. We can't always see the whole thing. We get involved in our own little karmic or emotional, blocks and patterns there. It's hard for us to get out ourselves. So in fact, I am a counselor
Right.
who uses tarot cards, or I'm a coach, who uses tarot cards or astrology. And that's what astrologers always did. They were originally the first physicians.
How do you prevent someone from becoming dependent on you?
I tell them, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I just tell them, you don't need to call me all the time. You got to really stop and think about this. It's not a healthy thing either. I do have regular clients who come to me on a regular basis, but if somebody's feeling, I don't know, and I try to just help them to get more centered, and sort of being in this blind panic where you're, somebody's going to tell me what I want to hear. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a client who's insistent that they want you to tell them what they want to hear.
After doing the show for 20 years now, I remember certain times you'd get the same callers calling in every time there was a psychic, a tarot card reader, or an astrologer on the show, asking the same questions. And, to me, it's like you were saying, only you can make the change happen.
Absolutely. But something's got to click. So a good reading, if you're open and you're really listening, and sometimes we need to hear it over and over and over, and we can hear it different ways. That's why everybody reads these self-help books. But I think it's still this looking for the instant answer, or even the secret. Yes, telling people, yeah, you do kind of create your reality by your emotional tone, but you're not always, and then blaming people if they don't make it. I think that's not a very healthy thing either.
Tara, how would a person listening today, if they believe they are intuitive, how can they learn to become more intuitive?
Okay. I believe that everybody has guardian angels, personal guardian angels that they work with. And whether you're aware of it or not, you kind of, take it, test it out, say, okay, I want my guardian angels to work with me, show me this. And then you have to be aware. Now, the guardian angels work through synchronicity. So suddenly, you hear the same thing, or, oh, somebody just mentioned that to me. Oh, this is like the third time I've heard about this. Those are your guardian angels trying to talk to you, trying to get your attention. But you can't be distracted with all this stuff. Like, people are always, totally talking on their cell phones and the music in their ears and all that. And I think that's actually very unhealthy, because there's no quiet. And you need quiet. You need to be silent. Like yoga is very popular, and that's great. But yoga was originally a very spiritual discipline to help you get quiet and get out of your ego and get out of your head chatting away. And people are addicted to talking and addicted to that noise because they're afraid to be alone. And you need to be alone with yourself, because that's where you learn to really commune directly with the angels.
What about reincarnation? Is there any proof that you've come across over your years of doing tarot card readings or astrology or psychic readings that reincarnation is real?
Yeah, I totally feel it's real from my own experience. I do remember past lives. I've had other people come up to me and validate that for me, in kind of strange ways. So, and I use it in astrology, especially when you meet someone and there's this incredible connection, draw to each other, even if you weren't expecting it. It's like you know each other right away. It's because you do. And, the past life energy, the karma, is trying to draw you two together to finish whatever it is you left unfinished. And that's not just your lovers or your friends. It can be your siblings, your parents, the boss you can't stand, even the people you don't like are also people you're karmically connected to.
Right.
So the people you get those very strong, I like them, I can't stand them, whatever it is, that's a kind of karmic connection, because it's the emotions that remember, that hold in your body, and that's what makes us come back to deal with these issues over and over again. So yes, I do believe in reincarnation.
Okay, Exo Nation, our special guest is the one and only Tara, and Tara Greene is going to be available to you. All you have to do is go to her website at www.taratarot.com. Now, Tara, are you going to be doing any public events in Ontario?
I am. Actually, I'm going to be doing an astrology lecture through Astrology Toronto, which is open to the public. That's on November the 17th. And I believe if you go to Astrology Toronto, you can see their site. I'm also doing, there's a lot of parties and events that I do during the holiday season. And then I'm going to be teaching again up at the Grail Spring Spa, which is this beautiful spa up in Bancroft, Ontario, and other things. And, that's what I'm meaning to do, is to start more groups working with women, learning how to work with the moon, because I do believe that this is also the age of the goddess returning, that women are really going to come into power now. So women really need to learn how to own their power.
Is it going to be a better year for women or a better year for men next year? Or does it all depend on who you are and what lies for you ahead in the stars?
Well, I also think it's what you make of it. I mean, like we were talking earlier, it's a very rainy day here, and I said, well, we have to make it a sunny day internally. So that's where you get the empowerment. If you're choosing, even if it's crummy outside, you can choose to be, I'm so bummed out, I don't want to do anything. Or you can choose to say, well, no, I feel good, I'm grateful. I think gratitude is very, very important. No matter how difficult your life is, you still need to be grateful. And that gratitude attracts other people helping you. It attracts opportunities for you. So I think gratitude is very important. I think, it depends on what you make of it. I can't say it's more, yes, we're moving into more water signs, which is more feminine in the astrology over the next few years. That is better in a way for women, better for families, better for children. I think there's increasing rights to protect children also, and more projects to help, especially they were mentioning this on the debate, educating women in Arab countries, because once they're educated, they learn how to think for themselves, even though it's there's a strict kind of religious, women not having much power, but once they're educated, they can do more. So yes, I think the big thing is for women to be educated and to say that, we're more than half the world, we deserve our due.
All right, Tara, stand by, dear. You and I have to take our final break. Exo Nation, Tara Greene is our special guest. www.taratarot.com, and we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X Zone continues. We're right here on the Talkstar Radio Network, X Zone Broadcast Network, UK High Definition Radio, Euro High Definition Radio, and Star Cable, and our growing family of broadcast affiliates worldwide. We'll be back. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net. And welcome back, everyone. Tara Taro is our special guest, www.tarataro.com. As always, Tara, great having you with us. What bit of wisdom do you have for the members of the X Zone Nation tonight?
Well, I would say that people need to stop and kind of slow down. I think that we tend to get in this whirlwind of stuff and energy, and that, I'm certainly feeling it. Feels like I have to run just from one thing to the next. And I think that alone, that the stress and the tension of that, maybe when you're younger you can thrive on it, but there's this illusion that it makes you feel like you're important and that you're busy. And I think people have to stop and say, what is this? Is there any real substance to this?
Yeah.
I think that's what Saturn and Scorpio is really going to help, because it gets you down to reality. Now, it may not seem that pretty, and I think people are a little bit scared of, Scorpio energy, and it's heavy and it's intense, and there is going to be a lot of changes in the banking industry. That's what Scorpio represents. But I think people have to stop and say, wait a minute, what do I really want? I think that that busyness takes people away from being centered.
Yeah.
So I think people need, when I ask people, do they meditate? People say no, they've tried, but there's just too much going on, you know what I mean? So I would say the best advice is to learn how to get still, learn how to go into these deep states of meditation. I mean, you can buy those CDs, Alpha Meditations, and I'm producing meditations to guide people into that. You have to do that. Things are going too fast, and you're being pushed away from your center. So the best thing to do is to center yourself and to really ask yourself what you think, what's really going on. People don't really know.
Why is it when people think of meditation, you think of an Eastern yogi doing the lotus position?
Yeah, because that's the old-fashioned. You don't have to do it that way. There is many ways to meditate. If you're really into doing the dishes, for example, or fixing your car, and you're just totally involved and in the now with that, that's meditation.
Zoning out.
You could be walking.
Just zoning out.
Just zoning out, yeah. You need to zone out. So there's too much stuff going on. You need to have quiet time. You know what I mean? You need to be still. You need to get centered. It's like you need to be the center of the cyclone where it's very still. And then you can figure out where you need to go.
Tara, we're coming to the... I'm sorry to do this, hon, but we're coming to the end of the hour. First of all, thanks very much for joining us. Tell our listeners how they can find out more about you.
Okay. Well, it's always a pleasure to be on the X Zone, Rob. Thank you so much. Yes, you can find me on my website at www.tarataro.com. That's TARATAROT.com. I have lots of articles, and I also have a blog. I'm available for phone readings. I read for clients all over the world, and I'd be happy to answer whatever questions you have. I do very in-depth. I'm very honest as a reader. I try to empower everybody I speak to, so that's where I'm coming from.
Tara, take care of yourself. Regards to one and all, and I look forward to the next time you and I meet here in the X Zone.
Me too, Rob. Thank you so much, and I want to wish everybody the best blessings. Thank you.
Take care, dear. X Zone Nation.
Thank you.
Tara Taro has been my guest this hour. www.tarataro.com. I'll be back on the other side of the news at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Send an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. And don't forget, our podcasts are available at xzonepodcast.com. See you at 6.5 minutes past the hour.